What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sixth Round Podcast, episode 22. Let's go. We had another good night of fights. Only one real fight that matters. UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Magomedov. A pretty good card overall. I liked it.
Only only one fight that matters?
Yeah,
Alright,
well,
that's
one
disrespectful.
fight card. I meant.
Oh,
Normally.
okay. I thought you
see.
meant like one fight, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely how you worded it. I was like, alright, rude.
Like, there's multiple fights with top 15 implication. There's multiple fights where people could be just right outside that top 15.
One fight that matters, and clearly that's where we're gonna start. The opening bout of the card. But nah, we had another Apex event going on. It's always some good fun. I'm pretty sure I saw a stat that Sean Strickland setting the record for most Apex main events with 5.
Yeah.
He definitely ain't selling out no on the road shows.
Hell no.
No, he would need a good dance partner to do that shit. But yeah, no, I've noticed that too. He's become the Apex king.
Yes. Because, I mean, solid fighter, but it's like, yeah, he doesn't have any, hometown backing. He doesn't have any real,
No.
big support like that. Not going to be, on any main event in any big cards unless he's in a title fight or something.
He's not getting invited to, like, a Jimmy Kimmel or any of these,
No.
Was it, like, GQ, like, interviews that they do with, like, athletes where it's, like, 10 things you can't live without?
No, absolutely not. He's not getting...
too unhinged.
No, not at all. The biggest spotlight he's getting is a fucking UFC media day or a press conference. But with Sean Strickland, goddamn, fighting Abus Magomedov in this one, just a giant step up in competition. Abus had one fight in the UFC, knocked out Dustin Stoltzfus just super early. That's who he fought, right? And fucking
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as I said, I don't know why, I'm just like, wait, is that who he fought? But yeah, got a quick knockout, 19 seconds into the first round, and then he gets number 7 Sean Strickland, and it's like, what the fuck are we kind of doing here? And as soon as that fight started to play out, by the end of the first round, you just saw Abus was tired. He gave everything he had just to throw a whole bunch of body kicks in the first round.
Yeah, it was sad. You seen the last body kick he went to go throw in the second round? Like, he couldn't even make it up, just taking deep breaths after it. His body had nothing left.
Oh, yeah.
Was that meant to be a body kick? Did it look like it was meant to?
No, I feel like
kick?
it was supposed to be higher, but he just couldn't make it up, and it just ended up going to the body. But there was nothing behind it, man. It was terrible. He barely had 5 minutes in him.
Yeah,
no, like, for someone who's fighting at middleweight, like, that is a terrible gas tank.
Bro, it doesn't matter what weight class you're fighting at. That's a terrible gas tank. Like, it's like, yeah, heavyweights have bad, worse cardio, but it's like to have fucking 5 minutes in you. It does not matter who you are, what fucking weight you're fighting at. That's just terrible.
Yeah.
And
so bad.
Goddamn, he made fucking Sean Pillhan Strickland look like a fucking beautiful boxer out there, just piecing him up on the feet, rocking his head all over the place. And yeah, he really just cannot hang with, like, the shots in there at all.
Oh god, no.
And it's like, against Strickland, like, bro, and I just feel like at any point in his career, it doesn't matter. Like, you start getting to, like, better fighters, you know what I mean? That's I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to be able to hang around there.
No, we were talking about it during, like, the fight companion. Like, Chris Curtis probably could have even got that fight out of there quicker. Like, just because Curtis has a little bit of power, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no way of him winning that fight. Like, especially after the first round. If he had actually been able to get Strickland out of there in the first round, yeah, he would have won. But then, like, yeah, no, he would have been exposed real fucking quick.
Just honestly, the way this fight went, just, like, put the question in concrete, like, why the fuck did they make this?
Yeah.
Why did they do this? Like, he clearly was not ready for, 1, anyone in the top 15.
Yeah,
2, a 5-round fight, let alone a fucking 3-round fight.
Yeah.
This was, like, I don't know what they thought was going on. I don't know what they were trying to do. I mean, Sean said it in the post-fight just interview or whatever, that they paid him a lot of money and that's what he's here for. So like that's why he took it, he's just trying to get paid. So it makes sense on his part, but it's just why did they pay you so much money to get this guy in there for a fight? It's just crazy.
Maybe with Ibushi getting like, just the quick knockout in his first fight, they thought like, all right, like Alex Pereira was able to knock out Sean quick in the first round. Maybe they thought like he could get something like that.
Yeah.
Just get some new blood quick into the top of that division. But yeah, that was such a mismatch. That was
not the man to do it.
No.
And that's the thing. Like, you say, like, exactly what you just said, right? Like, potentially get someone up into that top 10, top 5, really quick up there. Bro, if he went up against, like, a Cannonier, a Vittori, a Paulo Costa even.
He's done in 5. Like,
he's done in the first round.
Because any one of them would have like countered him way more efficiently with harder shots in that first 5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Strickland doesn't check leg kicks. Does not defends the body decently, but not great.
Yeah.
But he does have that modified Philly shell where he is moving a lot.
Yeah.
But that's
frames his arms up a lot. He
exactly.
A lot of fighters just really try and throw just a lot of like hooks and stuff like that, and so he's able to defend a lot of those. But yeah, that Strickland gets the second round TKO, just punches and bunches throughout that second round, just fucking gets the knockdown, and fight was over. Good shit for Strickland. Gets back on a 2-fight win streak this year after losing Jared last year. And I mean, he wants the fight with Izzy. We need some new fights with at the top. Does he get a title fight? It was a great performance, but it's an unranked guy, and he beat like number 15 or 12 at the time in Imavov, like in his last fight. Don't really think that he's gonna get that.
I don't think he's gonna get it either. But if Whitaker wins, I don't know. We've seen crazier things.
That's very true.
That was the other thing I was about to bring up. Is again like we've talked about already. Like, it's a rematch with Jared. It's a trilogy with Whitaker. And it's like, I can see them potentially doing it just because...
Shit, they set it up for it to happen.
They've already set it up with... And it was already set up with the press conference where Strickland fought Pereira. Because if he had beat Pereira, that would have been the next fight.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because, you... Oh god, I'm just imagining the press conference right now.
Bro, I would love it. That would be so much fun. Strickland and Izzy. I want that so bad.
Oh, it's so unhinged.
And that's why it's like, it's not like the greatest win streak against like the greatest fighters, but
no,
it's just something new, and it would be a fun fight at least. Like,
it would. The only arguments I can see, and it makes sense, is Jerry Cannonier has a win over him. Which caused Strickland to be on this 2-fight win streak as well. Because, he lost Pereira right before that. But then he fought against Cannonier and a fairly competitive fight, but was a very also boring fight, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't great. Very Sean Strickland-esque fight.
I could see it. So, honestly, if you're going to do either of them, I think in terms of, merit, Jared has it. Strickland has 100%. Has the fact that it's a different fight for Izzy, which Izzy wants desperately.
And that's the thing. It's just why even wait to see if fucking DDP or Whitaker? You already got UFC Sydney lined up for September for that pay-per-view. Just book it. Just get it done. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Because other than that, him versus Marvin, I feel like that would be a really fun fight. I'd definitely be down for that if they were going to give it to someone else. But
if they gave it to Cannonier or Whitaker, Marvin versus Strickland, that's an interesting matchup actually.
Let me see that at a press conference.
Oh my god.
I think Marvin would get so angry. I think Sean would be saying his absolutely ridiculous, unhinged, out-of-pocket ass shit, and Marvin would for sure take it to heart and just be angry. But his meatheadedness would get in the way, so it would just be pure anger, and it would just be like, fuck you, like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be like true trash talk. It would still be funny as hell, but I think he would get so fucking mad.
Because they've trained a little bit, I feel like Strickland knows all the buttons to press to make him angry.
Oh, what do you mean? I was about to say, over-under on how many times he calls him, like, a fucking, like, pasta man or like a Guido or something. Like, what's the fucking like, just calls him like the most fucking unhinged shit.
Just calls him stupid.
See,
all
that
the time,
to me
like,
is just silly, and it's like, even that stuff I still would think would get him mad. It would just be funny.
Oh
anyway.
He's like, this guy. But yeah, great win for Strickland. Let's see what the UFC decides to do with him. It's just, again, just got to see what's happening all at middleweight. Just a lot of shit unfolding, and this is just one of the first pieces to start unfolding.
I think that was the other thing we were talking about with this fight when it was booked. It's like, what the fuck does this actually do for the division if Strickland wins? And then, like, just talking about, like, the fight that also got announced with this one was Paulo Costa and Ikram. If Paulo Costa wins that, what does that do for the division? That doesn't do anything for the division at all.
Well, that's what I was saying, is like they set it up for like rematches to happen, because the way they matchmaked all this summer with like the fucking just the whole division, like the whole like top fucking, I don't know, like 5, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
they literally set it up for rematches or a possible Dricus, or if they're just gonna randomly be like, you know what, Sean, let's give it to you. Like, it's just, I don't know.
But it's like that, but I feel like it's because they were banking too much on like all these people to make giant leaps. You know, it's like Dricus fighting Whitaker, lining up this fight, like Ikram and Paulo. Like they're banking on all of these giant leaps to happen. You know what I mean?
Are they really that dumb to keep making like, you know, like banking on that shit? Like, they know anything could happen, so that's why it's like, if they're dumb enough that they're really just expecting one singular outcome, then that's just foolish. If
maybe they figure they just do a whole bunch of these matchups, that one of them's gotta like, someone's gotta get the upset.
But it's just fucking. But either any way you look at it, it's fucking foolish, because you're gonna tell me Ikram, like, again, I know that they've done this shit before, fucking Pereira, for instance, but it's like Ikram comes in, fights one person, wins, comes in, fights Paulo, wins. What are they gonna do? Just give him the title shot, his third fight? Like, it's just it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, like with the Pereira, at least, like, one, there was built-in storyline, and two, like, Pereira had so much experience from kickboxing and boxing. Like, he had the experience to back up how good he was in striking. It was just his grappling that was always going to be a question, but that didn't matter. And then, like,
that's the thing.
Well, I mean, with Ikram, is if, you know, Hamzat comes up to fight at 185, then it's like the Hamzat Ikram thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I get that. For me, I just rather at least, like, because I know you have all these guys at the top that like are deserving of title fights or whatever, but they're all rematches or trilogies or whatever. So it's just like, to me personally, if you get a new guy coming in who might only have 2 or 3 wins in the UFC, but if they get one of these like top 5, 6, 7 wins, it's like, fuck it, just give them the title shot. Like, we just need something new to play out.
No,
you know?
But like, that's why, like, you know, with Dricus Whitaker, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know, to bank on it's stupid. It's almost like they're setting up the rematch, because I don't know, Dricus and fucking Izzy were already talking shit to each other. They both wanted to fight each other. You should have just did that from the jump. Like,
I know.
Probably.
They really did fuck up with that.
I will say, out of all the ones, because I think Whitaker and Duplessis also got announced when Strickland and Bus got announced, and when Ikram and Paulo got announced. Out of the 3, the only one who earned that shot was Dricus to fight someone within the top 5.
Yeah.
Now, I think we all said put him against like Vittori or a Cannoneer.
No, we just said Izzy, because they were already talking shit, and it was like, just fucking get shit moving.
I mean,
but the way they matched it, everything is doing nothing but keeping it super stagnant.
Yeah, 100%. But moving into another division that's been a little bit stagnant, but we have some fights that are starting to move things around. 155 and co-main event, motherfucking Grant Dawson versus Damir Ismagulov. That was just easy money for Grant.
So easy.
It really was. Once it got to the ground, it was over. Every single round
was not hard for him to get the takedown, and just instantly to the back body triangle.
Damir strong enough not to get rear naked choke, so he doesn't have that 3 times in a row, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. If he would have got it in the third round, it would have been 3 third-round RNCs in a row. Sad.
That's really funny.
Demir,
That would have
you
been
tough
great.
bastard.
No, yeah. This really was just easy money for Grant, and I knew, like, coming into this fight, like, Demir on the feet was definitely the more technical striker.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I did not realize how good, like, Grant Dawson was going to be on the ground against Demir.
Yeah,
that took me a little by surprise.
I thought he was, like, talking about in just, like, the preview to it, I thought he was going to be just way more persistent with it, and that's what it was going to get it done, but he really just outclassed him there. It just, like...
Yeah, it was not even close.
Because fucking Demir and Armin had a real solid scrap back and forth, and I was just like, all right, like, it's like, yeah, he lost by unanimous decision, but, like, Demir definitely didn't make it easy for Armin, but like, Grant just did so fucking good.
No, seriously, because I was saying, like, I felt like Demir should out-experience him, but I just feel like Grant's gonna get it done. I didn't think he was gonna get it done so easily.
Exactly.
Like,
because, like, even, like, I thought he would be able to get a finish, but, it would just be, like, a hard work, like, just breaking him down until a finish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was just easily able to control him. I don't remember what the scorecards were, but I'm pretty sure he had, like, 30-26s in there. Like,
I'm pretty sure 30-26 and then 2 30-27s.
I was about to say, I know for a fact he had 2 30-27s. At least, like...
I could have sworn, because you guys were talking, but, like, I could have sworn I heard them say 30-26. Like... 99% sure.
It's very possible. But yeah, motherfucking Grant.
Just good ass fight for him.
Yeah, 8-0-1 now in the UFC. No losses. His one draw to Ricky Glenn back in 2021. And only 29 years old. Great win in the top 15 of that division. What's next for this motherfucker?
So, real quick, before we go on, there was a 30-26.
Okay.
Mike Bell gave him a 10-8 in the first round.
Okay.
And then, I don't know how this happened, but luckily it was a fight where it was so easy to tell the decision that it didn't affect it. But how do you have Saul D'Amato and Chris Lee judging the same fight?
Yeah, that's a risky one. It's a great thing that Grant made it real easy.
Yeah.
And it's also funny that neither one of them were the one to give him a 10-8 as well.
Yeah.
They both gave him 10-9 every round, which, not complaining, honestly. I'm not sure, like, a 10-8 would have been, if anything, like, I feel like maybe the third round would have been closer to a 10-8 than a...
I mean, to be honest, I was kind of surprised that there was a 10-8 round there. I know that Grant, like... dominated the shit out of it, but I feel like you generally see it when people are just absolutely beat the fuck up, when they are getting outstruck, fucked up, like, you don't see it much, just, like, Demir wasn't 100%. Hurt too bad, like, Grant just spent a lot of time working, controlling on his back, working for the choke, like...
And that's the thing, he had the time and, like, the position on the back, but he never got close even with a choke attempt, so I feel like that's, with that, that's why it's kind of... It's weird to, like, kind of give him a 10-8. Yeah. And that's why I think that it's funny, to your point, with just having both of them, that, like, neither one of them gave him the 10-8. They're just like, all 10 rounds, like, very normal.
It's funny because 2 media scores are 30-25s.
Damn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one to me, because I'm like, definitely, it's 100% at 30-27.
Yeah.
I could see, if you wanted to tell me it was a 30-26...
I mean, shit, with how I feel like the points should be used, that you
like,
could give him a 30-24 at that point, like 10-8 rounds across the board, like, it was easy money. But but like with the 8 wins for Grant Dawson, like, comes into UFC, wins Julian Erosa, Mike Trezano, Derek Minner, Nad Narimani, Leonardo Santos, the draw with Ricky Glenn, then Jared Gordon, Mark Madsen, and Demir Ismagulov, like, just solid, consistent performances all around, and
finishes, decisions all sprinkled in there, like, just having good ass fights.
I just really feel like this dude should get a good guy at the top of this division.
That's what sucks. Like, 155 is a weird division with, like, it being held up because the champ is ever moving. They're ever changing. That shit is, like, you know what I mean? Like, that stays consistent, but it's the top 5 that doesn't, so it makes it hard for people to break in.
Exactly.
And now I feel like with Islam as champ, like, finally making there, he might, if Charles can't get it done, like, I feel like he's going to hold it for a little bit, and then that top 5 is just going to be hard to break.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems come in.
It's because they're all big stars, and you just got to get these guys to fight a lot. But like they want to just get these big fights to get their title shot, and that's
exactly. And plus, like the one good thing is we also have one other top 5 fight going on at the moment with Poirier and Gaethje 2 happening.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure Gaethje has said it's title run or bust. It's either I get a title shot off of probably off this Poirier win, or if I lose, I'm out. Because he takes a lot of damage, so like I can understand
if he loses and retires, that would definitely help the division.
That would help the division because people get to move up just that. 2, RDA is fighting Vicente Luque and will be out of the rankings when that happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's good.
Hopefully. If he loses, he might stay.
No, he's literally said he's fighting out his contract at 170. Yeah, because
him being ranked number 9 is crazy.
Yeah.
He said he's only going to fight 155 for 2 reasons: a title shot or Conor McGregor. That's
he's number 9. So. And that's why he remains.
I doubt Conor. I don't even know. We don't even know if Conor's fighting Chandler.
You can't You can't give an unranked guy a title shot, but you can give a guy in a top 10 title shot.
I'm sorry, but I'm so unconvinced that we're gonna see Conor fighting at 155 anytime soon.
Yeah, probably not. But
I'm unconvinced we're seeing Conor fight. Period.
Well, yeah, that. But like, if he does, it's not 155.
No. But I would love to see Grant Dawson against someone like an Arman Tsarukyan.
That would be a real fun one.
Be a real fun one. They both have wins over Demir. So it'd be interesting to see like the actual matchup between the two. Arman, I'm sorry, like I know he wants someone bigger, but at the moment it's like everyone's booked up. The only person I can see him getting is Beneil. That's higher than him.
What if he got the winner? It's happening a week from now. Jalen versus Dan Hooker.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, I'd like that because, he's ranked number 15, so that's number 10 or 11. So it's like a nice little step, but nothing too crazy. And then Arman doesn't have to fight down again because it's kind of what he's been doing. And it's like, that sucks because that's the way the division is. It's either like, we can try to get you a fight, but you're really going to have to sit on this and wait for like the perfect time and someone to accept it. Or you can fight down and stay active. Like,
well, that was his problem with wanting to fight Beneil. Like, he wants to fight Chandler.
Yeah.
Because Beneil wasn't going to be ready fast enough. And I'm just like, dude, if it's try and call out Chandler or fight Beneil later than you want, you fight Beneil.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know. If I think that I would like that fight, him versus Chandler. I think that'd be good. And like fun. With Chandler, I know he so badly wants that Conor fight, but like he needs to realize it's not happening, and he's already lost to everybody above him except I don't think he fought Benny, did he?
No,
he's never fought Benny.
But like he lost to Charles, Dustin, and Justin. It's like at this point, yeah, brother, you got to fight down. So it's like you take that fucking Arman fight. Get paid in the meantime, waiting for Conor because who knows if that's even gonna happen. Like,
yeah, and that's where it's hard because it's like tough still going on and shit. So it's like I just feel like if the season ends and there's still no talks, that's when he should finally move on, and like really think about fighting someone else.
Because
I'll give him a few more weeks to sit on his that Conor fight,
I mean, either way, like Conor still hasn't entered the pool. I know that they'll do things for Conor and just like let him fight, but like I don't know.
Even if it's guaranteeing him a fight for fucking January, February type shit, like if Chandler, like if they say fucking Arman in Abu Dhabi or Conor in February, like that's not even a
Conor
fucking
in
question.
February.
Yeah.
So
but I agree with that. I think the problem, like with what you're saying, like giving a few more weeks with Tough. Well, considering one, there was leaks from Tough that happened. Like, you already had a dwindling audience for it because it's just not been a good season.
Yeah,
not a lot. A lot of people have already seen what happens on episode 6. I know what happens on episode 6. So I'm just like,
No, I got you.
So I feel like at this point, it's shit or get off the pot. Like, figure something out.
You.
Fight Beneil, fight Arman, fight someone.
Yeah, depending on how that's the thing. It's just some of these, just some of the higher ranked guys, they really just have to fight people below them, and it could really just start speeding up a lot of this shit.
It would speed so fucking much up. Are you kidding me?
Because it's like, with fucking Grant, he just beat number 12, and with, like, being on 8-fight win streak, it's like, he could easily deserve, like, a fucking top 5 guy, you know what I mean? Like, they could easily give him Benny, which, honestly, I wouldn't mind that at all, too. It's just, I know Armin was calling for Chandler, but I just feel like it's way more likely that he gets the Benny fight. And so that's why it's like, if Grant can't get someone that high up, then it's like, probably Jalen or Dan Hooker, because the winner of that on 290, that's going to be a lot of hype behind them, so that's just, like, a big fight. That could easily set them up for top 5 after.
Yeah.
It's hard, right? No, yeah. Sorry, I was just like thinking like, and I completely like forgot. Like, I just started matchmaking in my head what I feel like would be good fights to do like for the division, and I'm just like, and I just realized I was like, all right, here are a couple we can do. Fiziev Benny, if you really want to do that, but Fiziev should probably fight down. So that's why I don't mind.
Yeah.
No, it was Fiziev Armin, Gamrot Chandler, winner of Jalen Hooker versus Benil. But then I realized I was leaving Grant Dawson out of that.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate every single thing that you just said.
I like Fiziev versus Armin at least. I feel like that's a good fight at least. You realize half the fights I just said are easily what the UFC could decide to do, too. That's entirely possible. That's with the way that things are being booked, that's easily what could happen.
Well, yeah, you never fucking know what the UFC is going to decide to do, because you don't know who they're going to want to push, but it's like, I just would be so upset if that's how, like, all
of them got booked.
Yeah, but yeah, either way, Grant definitely does deserve a big win. And for Demir, it's just 2 rough losses in a row, just kind of getting dominated, out grappled.
Yeah.
Said that he's probably just going to retire after fighting out his contract, and that it's just like, I don't know. He just seemed like such a good prospect coming up, but it's like, who knows if he's just not really 100% in it anymore, what's just kind of going on with him. But definitely also sucks to see, though.
That's the thing. Even with everything we said for all the other bookings, like before I said the bookings I was just doing in my head, we're also leaving out Moicano completely out of any discussion there.
Well, I mean, he pulled out of a fight in April because of injury. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the start of July. Like, he hasn't said shit about like when he's coming back, so that's why it's like I just haven't thought about him. It's like,
no, I know.
Who knows when he's gonna be back? But a great fight, a solid performance, a great step up in competition for this motherfucker, Michael Morales. 15-0, remains undefeated against Max Payne Griffin. Gets the UD.
Yeah.
I was really hoping he was going to be able to get the finish, but Griffin's just tough as shit, man. It is goddamn impossible to put him out of there like under 15 unless you're Colby Covington.
No, yeah.
But that puts Michael Morales 3-0 inside the UFC. 2 finishes, goes to 15 this time. Does he get a top 15 fight next? Because that's like, honestly, like going through like a lot of these fights and kind of setting up the rundown, I feel like there's just a lot of people that they don't, like they may not like on this card, they may not have a lot of fights in the UFC, but they got such great performances over like good competition that I feel like a lot of them deserve step ups into the top 15. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because like Max Griffin is like a vet especially in the UFC. He was 7-7 coming into this. Like, he's fought 14 times in the UFC against high level competition. He's one of those guys who's kind of like, he's not like right outside the top 15, but he's like right in that 20 through like 25-30 mix. Like, he's right there somewhere in that mix. So I could easily see them getting a top 15 guy. It's just like
bro, we need to 24 years old, Michael Morales, a year layoff, basically, had a great performance over him like that. You know what I mean? It's like...
No, yeah, exactly. My thing is, I'm just trying to figure out who. Because we're just having to wait for a bunch of these fights, because they're...
I mean, realistically...
Everyone is booked up
it's
right
like,
now.
it's July 1st right now, and a lot of people that are booked for the next month, or like, maybe into August, but like mostly for this next month. So timelines honestly aren't too bad. Like, do
you know what my first thought was? Or I don't know what you were gonna say.
Oh, well, because I was just gonna say, like, Michelle Pajeda, Steven, Wonder Boy, they're fighting this month. What is it? The 29th, is it? Or is it earlier than that, in the 21st? I don't know. But whatever. It's some point.
291.
Okay, so the 29th, I think it is then.
Yeah, the end of the month. It's only a month apart from this. Like, what do you think? Give him the I guess it depends on like who wins, who loses, but like give him one of them.
Honestly, that was literally the fight I was thinking of, and I was gonna say give him the loser of that fight.
That's kind of what I was thinking was the loser.
Because if Michelle Pajeda beats number 7, it's
like there's no reason for him to then fight unranked.
And then Wonder Boy's not gonna drop too far. It's like it's a good fight. It would be another big step up in competition.
It would.
But yeah, that was literally the exact fight I was thinking of and was gonna go to.
The only reason I even brought, like, I was saying, like, we just need to wait to see where all these people end up at the end of the month. Because, like,
for sure.
Because here's the thing. If Steven fights Michelle and Michelle loses, like, we also don't know, like, how it's going to be affected by every other fight in the rankings. Because you also got to remember, RDA's moving up to fight Vicente Luque. If RDA wins, he gets moved in. Michelle's going to be moved out.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, even if he gets moved out and it's not necessarily like someone in the top 15, that would definitely be a direct pipeline into the 15.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't hate that at the fuck all. I think that that would probably be a good one for him to get the loser of that. The only reason why I would question like the loser, I was like, I don't know if that would be like depending on how they lose, how much time they might need off.
Very true.
That's the other thing.
Possibly, maybe winner of like a Holland Chiesa.
Yeah, that was gonna be my second one was Holland Chiesa.
Let's go.
I was just like, those are just like, I don't know. I think those would be good fights. They line up perfectly.
Yes.
Neil Magny just fought as well.
That's very true too. That is
a pretty big step up. I will admit.
That's real hard.
The only reason it's more of a step up than like a Stephen Thompson is because like for Stephen Thompson, like he's good, but he is older. He is losing a step. He's not as quick as he used to be. So that's
still hard ass fight, but yeah.
Yeah, but exactly. It's still a hard ass
fight. But that's kind of the thing. It's just like I can see that still being like. That's why I'm like still just waiting to see what goes where with every fight. Because then also,
for sure,
again, Stephen Thompson, Michelle Perez at the end of the month. Anything can happen to where like one of them could get injured, one of them pulls out, and then we're like, okay, who's fight? Like, where are people gonna be fighting anyway at that point? So
yeah, but assuming all goes well, if fights happen, it's not too bad. Well, I like either the loser of Michelle Pajeda or the Chiesa Holland one.
Both
winner
of
of that one.
Yeah. Both of those be very good.
It's funny because I was also like, because you guys were talking about that. That's why I brought up the RDA versus Vicente Luque thing. If RDA beats Vicente Luque, Luque's going to be moving down in the rankings, and I could see that fight happening as well.
That's very Yeah, that's very true too. Wouldn't be too bad as well.
Like that's why I'm like trying to figure out like it's just going to be timelines and also like fighters' decisions, because Stephen Thompson could easily, if he loses, easily just retire.
I don't think so.
I don't think he does, but
I think he hangs around till he's like 50.
Okay.
He's gonna. I feel
55.
Like I legit. Like obviously I don't know if it, but like there really wouldn't be like a part of me that wouldn't be too surprised if he ended up being like the oldest person to fight in the UFC. Like, I just really wouldn't be too surprised about that.
Yeah. Well, and also...
just taking fights every year or something like that, just, I don't know,
also,
like...
Well, and also, like... With
fight Matt Brown for the next 10 years.
How many times has he come out of fights with his hands injured?
No, that's very true as well. His hands
every other fight, it's almost like after every fight, his hands are broken at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why it's also like I'm trying to look around that, which is why I also like the Chiesa Holland one. I also like the loser of that or the winner of that, however you want to spin that. Because Holland will fight anyone. So that's why I was kind of looking more at that, more RDA Vicente Luque than Stephen Thompson, Michelle Pajeda, because if Steven loses, more than likely he's also going to have injured hands, especially if it goes all 3 rounds.
Yeah. We'll have to see how all the fights play out. Next fight on the card, split decision for Queen of Violence, Ariana Lipski versus Melissa Gatto. Nothing too crazy in that. But the next big fight on the card, what an upset.
Yeah, it was sad.
So upsetting.
Oh my god.
But a great win. Benoit Saint-Denis gets the first round RNC over Ismael Bonfim.
First one to finish him in like 8 years. Or beat him, not even just finish him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. We all underestimated Benoit Saint-Denis. We all thought he was tough. We all thought it was going to be, a harder fight for Bonfim.
Yeah, but
none of us thought that was going to happen.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Holy
his
shit.
last loss was in 2014 against Renato Moicano. This dude is 27 years old. So 9 years ago, he was 16 years old. 18 years old. And he lost to Renato Moicano.
Right.
Since
There's no
then,
shame in that shit.
Yeah, none at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 fight win streak since then. I just wonder if it was like the short notice, if that played a factor in it at all, or if it was really just underestimating, like Benoit Saint-Denis.
That's the other thing.
Because it's like his only loss was like really bad, but wasn't that short notice for him?
That was a short notice at a weight.
Yeah, I was gonna say up a weight class. It's like
against a heavy hitter.
Yeah, so it's like at that point it was probably just like that was just a bad performance for him, and like this is where he really got to shine. And it's like we probably underestimated him a bit, like knowing he's tough as hell, but like.
That's true. All of his wins are finishes.
Yeah, just kind of thinking that Ismael was gonna do to him what
he did to Terrence McKinney.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like,
also 27 years old.
Like, we all agreed, like, he was tough. I think, like, for the most part, we were like, it's probably going to be second round at least, because it's just like, if Benoit didn't get finished in that other fight, which, even though, like, the ref should have stepped in on his debut fight.
He didn't go to sleep or quit.
He was never out of it. Like, in terms of just... He was always, like, cognizant.
But, bro, can we also just talk about real quick how he started off with, like, 12 kicks right to his body?
Right to the body?
And he just sitting there going, bring it to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, stop doing that. Stop.
I was just begging him.
Eating them, because he kept throwing them, and at no point was he covering it, blocking it, moving it. I think he jumped out of the way for one of them.
Yeah, it was after he threw all, like, he would just throw one. And then after that, he went to throw one, and then he, like, it was, but I was just like, yo, channel your inner Gabriel. Just take him down and sub him, and he just...
And the wrong person got that advice.
Yeah, man, that was just
that's what
great win for Saint-Denis, and again, just it's what he's 3-1 in the UFC now. Like we said, had that rough debut, loss up a weight class, moved back down to 55, 3 finishes since then. Another guy where it's like he deserves a big fight. He deserves a top 15 guy.
Yeah,
and this motherfucker. He calls out Armin. He calls out Gamrot. He calls out Fazeev.
And he, like, specifically called out Gamrot.
Yeah, because then afterwards he said, Gamrot, you're Polish. Maybe you want to fight European card? Let's fight in Paris. And I would love that.
I would love that. The grappling between these two is going to be beautiful. I will say that.
Yo, the grapple and the striking, that's just a fucking fight. And that's what I mean. It's like, let's just get these guys into the top 15. Just get these fights. Like, just get all of the new people in where it's like the guys in like the top 5, they're basically forced to fight these other guys, you know what I mean?
No, seriously, because it's like, you get that moving in there, like take RDA out, I'm sorry, but get Dan Hooker, like, I don't know, like, like I know he's fighting Jalen, but that doesn't do much, like, put him against like, but it's like, put him against like, these other prospects, just get him out of there, like, he's not moving up anytime soon. He gets beat the fuck up by those top guys. Like, I don't know. Just got to get some real movement within it.
That is the one thing with Gamrot is, like, he's kind of on so streak right now because he has the loss to Benny, but even then, like, what right before that was split decision, or it was a unanimous against Armin, but a lot of people think he should have lost that fight.
Yeah.
Against Armin, and then a very controversial split decision against Jalen Turner. Like, realistically, Gamrot could be on a 3-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very realistically. So
yeah, I feel like with 155 and just like all the killers like always sitting right outside the door of top 15 and stuff, it's like, bro, from like 11 to 15, even if you find yourself on like a 2-fight skid type shit, it's like, bro, just bounce them out the rankings and add someone else in there.
Seriously.
Like you got the names to fucking just throw them. So
they really do, and that's why I don't understand why they don't be doing that. Because like even like, you know, Demir, like, get Demir out of there. Fucking Moicano's not fighting. Like, bump him down a ranking real quick if he loses. Like, I fuck with Moicano. You know, I'm not. But
because
it's just.
Did Moicano lose his last? No, he won his last one, right?
I'm pretty sure he won his last one.
Yeah,
because his last one was what, against Brad Riddell?
I think so.
He beat Brad Riddell, lost to RDA.
Demir, you know, it's like just lost to Armin, and now, you know, like just lost to 15 grand. It's like bump him out the ranking.
Yep.
Like Hooker, I know he beat Claudio Puelles, but
he wasn't even ranked. Why is he number 11?
Exactly, and like he's been losing. It's like if he loses to Jalen number 10, it's like fuck him, get him out the rankings, get someone new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just start getting some movement where it's like you have these guys from 6 to 10 that all are on win streaks where it's like, you know, like where for guys like Dustin, Justin, Benny, whatever, Chandler, it's like if you're not gonna fight one of them, like you're just straight up not getting the title shot, and they are, you know, like, and where it just becomes undeniable. But the motherfucking UFC ain't gonna do that shit because they're just like, oh, but Dustin and Justin and Chandler have big names, so let's
give other fighters big names. How would you expect fighters to get big names if you won't give them big fights? These people are 34 years old. They're going to be out this bitch sooner than later. And then what? You don't got no names?
And that's the thing. You got to also just pay these guys more so they will take these fights as well. It's all a bunch of things that got to work in together to help make the sport better.
Smooth brain ass motherfuckers is crazy.
Well, and even if you don't pay them more, throw in like other incentives. Like throw in like some type of like, you know, you get a finish, you get a bonus, you get on top of whatever. You get, if it's on a pay-per-view, hey, you know, and it's not like a big pay-per-view or whatever, like you're not throwing them on like a card with 3 champions or whatever, but it's like a 1 championship, like a card with 1 championship. Hey, we'll throw you pay-per-view points on this one. Like,
that's no.
For someone like a Dustin Poirier Gaethje, I almost guarantee you that's already in their contract.
Oh well, I mean they're main eventing the pay-per-view, so that's why.
Well, this next one, but.
You know, but no one. They're not gonna be like who the fuck's the co-main event on that shit? I can't even fucking think right now.
291.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
I got
at the moment.
Oh, Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pereira. Like they're. No way in the fucking world UFC would throw either one of them fucking pay-per-view points, even for being former champs co-main eventing a pay-per-view.
Am I saying that for them, or am I saying that for someone like, you know, a Dustin or Gaethje? So they'll actually, Gaethje will actually somewhat fight some of these guys lower down.
That's also the thing. Honestly, if at most Dustin might get them, I don't even think Gaethje would.
Yeah.
Dustin's the A side on that, you know what I mean? Like.
No, yeah. No, what I'm saying for like, so like, Justin will at least fight down. He's fought Chandler, he fought Fiziev, both were ranked lower than he was. I'm saying for like someone like Dustin to fight like, you know, a Fiziev or like a Gamrot, throw him pay-per-view points because it's the only way you're gonna get him to do it. Like, do that, pay him more.
I know what you're saying. It's just that's just such a far shot. Like it's just. Because especially with something like that's not going to be a main event of a pay-per-view, and it's like, because, you know, the other side isn't going to be big enough like Dustin Gaethje is with storyline and everything, and it's just like with whatever title fight, it's just way too much, but either way, it's just the UFC, they're just not going to do the things to make the big fights happen, and that's why we got Musk vs. Zuck in the headlines, let's go!
Well, like, and even with what I'm saying, I'm not saying, like, give them the same amount of pay-per-view point, like,
No,
I don't know what the actual percentage for the champions are, but let's say like you split that in half for what I'm talking about, where you just throw it to them so they'll actually take fights.
I know, but it's just too.
Then
it's just way too far of a long.
Okay, so then how
We're
are you actually going to make?
We
them
gotta
take
move on. Let's go. A next great performance on this card. This shit was a beautiful motherfucking debut. Holy goddamn.
Bruh.
Nursultan.
Rizaboev.
Yeah, Rizaboev.
Bruh, 29 years old. Pro MMA record, 35-8-2 and 2 no contests.
Glorious. Absolutely glorious.
Fighting at in 185, 6'5", just tall as hell.
Built like fucking Alex Bejeda out here. I don't remember what the reach was off the fucking tail of the tape, but this dude is ginormous. Bruno Ferreira came in UFC debut, got a crazy knockout over fucking RoboCop, and this motherfucker just stole that debut height with a beautiful knockout over Bruno Ferreira.
Yeah. And it was so good because Bruno went to go throw the low kick. Nursultan just caught it, hit him, knocked him down, just followed with ground and pound. It was over.
And you see, like, a lot of times where they'll catch it and throw a punch and they kind of just fall down. But that really hurt him. That was, like, a real knockdown with that shit. Couple hammer fists, like, punches, and
it was over.
Done.
He was literally out.
You've seen it in the ground and pound, that he was, like, barely there.
Beautiful performance. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Another beautifully sad performance, though. Going into the prelim main event. Our boy, maybe not your guys' boy, but surely my boy, Kevin Lee was back on his second UFC run, and they gave him a monster, a beast from Russia, motherfucking Rinat Fakhretdinov, and they shouldn't have done that.
No.
And this fight showed exactly why.
55 seconds? 55 seconds into the first round.
He gets hit with a 1-2. The one kind of missed, but the 2 lands, knocks him down, and he gets, a high-angle single-arm guillotine?
Yeah, he just
Then he just started cranking, and...
Bruh, it was crazy, though, because, like, the way Kevin Lee, like, he went to go shoot on it when Rinat, like, locked it up, and his body kept tension even though he went to sleep. So it's, like... fucking Herb, like, he was on it, so that was, like, really good for him, because, like, you could see Kevin still tensed up, and he's like, I don't think he's there. He's like, hello, he's like, no, let go, and you just seen him drop right to the floor. But yeah, usually people go limp, they just let go, like, he was still just holding on. And I feel like his body just tensed up, like, it just got caught in, like,
Yeah.
It was weird because his right arm was still around him. Because his left arm was caught up under his leg. So it makes sense that his left arm was still there. But this right arm was completely free and was still, like, tensed. It was weird.
And because he shot in, and then Rinat ended up, like, he just, like you said, he got that just like the high elbow, and then he just sat into him so tight, so he was just kind of like squatted down, and like I feel like it was because they were just in such like a ball together, and how he like kind of had him held, and it just, you seen Herdine just scrambling around him like left side, right side, like, are you there, and he's like, yo, stop, and then just
stop,
unconscious, and 55 seconds. Absolutely nasty.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful for Rinat.
Yeah, you had Herb Dean trying to explain to Kevin Lee after the fight what had happened, because
you saw it in his face. He had no idea. He was gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got put out cold. He probably didn't remember any of that night.
Yeah, like, I was gonna say 55 seconds in, he probably don't even remember starting the fight. Like,
that's And because motherfucking Rinat 3-0 now in the UFC, and again, like to my point earlier, 3 wins in the UFC. 3 great wins in the UFC, and 22 in 2 overall now? Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Give this dude a fight inside the top 15. You know what I mean? Like,
especially like considering he beat someone like Kevin Lee.
Exactly.
Like, Kevin Lee is someone who was top 15 in both welterweight and lightweight.
Yeah.
When he was first in the UFC. So like, he's good. We know how good he is.
100%.
He fought for a goddamn interim title against Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is a lot of movement within 170, so I'm sure that it's kind of hard to get them the fights right away because of just the way things line up. But I'll give it to that like division that there is at least movement. I'm sure that if it's not their next fight, we'll see them within like the next 2-3 fights in the top 15.
Do you know who I think he should fight?
Who?
Give this motherfucker Sean Brady once he's healthy. I feel like that's the fight to make. Give him a giant step up in competition.
Give him Jack Della Maddalena next week.
You say Sean Brady. I feel like this one is more perfect for Neil Magny as well.
You could do that for sure.
Because you're saying giant step up. Like, I feel like Neil Magny is a bigger step up than Sean Brady.
That's very...
I think, that'd still be good for Rinat, though. I think he'd win.
6'3", 80-inch reach. He has to deal with the height and reach disadvantage. Neil Magny has really good
Real quick, why did Sean Brady move up a spot to 8 so he could be tied with Jeff Neal?
That was before he had to pull out.
Yeah, and I was gonna say probably
I don't know why they
fucking
did
Jackie's
that,
name.
That was dumb.
This is so funny.
No, yeah. It's just move one of them down then. Like,
yeah, I don't know what's up with them doubling it up. Jeff Neal, Sean Brady, number 8, Dricus and Paulo, number 5.
I feel like there's another one that they did.
Johnny Walker and Nikita, both number 5.
Oh my God. Oh, hey, Aaron Blanchfield, Talia Santos, both number 3.
Bro.
What the fuck? Stop. Why?
This is crazy.
This is number 1 bullshit.
This really is.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Like 170 definitely does have like more people in like the back half of that
that
like
are
rankings,
a lot more competitive than.
But just make it quicker. Just start forcing the hand of these older fighters sitting at the top.
Well, I mean, like, but that's what I'm saying is that a lot of these fights are all happening this summer. So it's like come the fall time, like I feel like we'll start seeing more of that. I don't think it's gonna take that long to start seeing new names in this division.
That's very true.
Also, yeah. Forcing the hand of these older fighters. Yes, Sean Brady, the older fighter of the 170 division, whereas Neil Magny isn't.
Because that's the thing is like they're literally like I mean obviously they're all active like, other than obviously Hamzat, who one of those people that just needs to get out of the division, give him a fight at 185, let him stay up there, and Colby. Gilbert's hurt, so he, you know, rightfully so, but he's active as shit.
Yeah.
Bilal deservingly wants to fight up at this point, so it's like, you know what I mean, like do your fucking thing. Kamaru's trying to fight and Leon's just like but you know what, he's the champ, so he's not really like the biggest deciding factor in the end half of it anyway, you know, so like I was about to say, it is a moving division.
Like, this division moves a lot more, and that's why I'm fine with him fighting someone like a Neil Magny, because again, it's a big step up, bigger frame than him, because Sean Brady is like more like short in terms of like
brick shit house.
Yeah, because he's like shorter and built like more like a Kevin Lee than he is a Rinat or
built
Neil
like
Magny.
Volkanovski.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
if Volkanovski went up to 170, he'd be fucking Australian Sean Brady.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Neil Magny's a better test.
Yeah,
Sean Brady's just up there because, well, Neil Magny lost to a couple of people. That was a good one. So I feel like Neil Magny's a better step up.
That's very fair.
Personally.
Either way, motherfucking Renat's a motherfucker, and he's here to motherfuck everyone, so...
I feel like that's not the person to be calling a motherfucker, because there's one more person.
It's very true.
Fucking Elvis Brunner. Bro.
I know you were so upset with Ismail. I'm very upset with Ismail, too.
But I know
this one truly hit me so much harder. Oh my goodness.
Guram came out and he was kind of fucking Elvis. I'm not kind of, but super fucking him up. The first 2 rounds. No, that one on the ground when he elbowed him so clean, split him open, nasty. How many stitches he had to get?
I don't know, but
that picture was disgusting.
There was at least like 7, 8, 9 stitches in there. Like he had to get a lot there. Shit,
it was a good
fucking
amount.
dyed his whole side of his hair red. He was just looking crazy. But he fought through that so well, just eating them shots, living through it. Makes it to the 3rd round. Punches Guram. It looks like on the side of the head, but mostly like on the neck. He just reacted like mad weird to it.
His like arms just dropped.
Yeah, like he immediately went down. You see, like Elvis just like followed up on it, punched him, got the TKO, but he's sitting there moving his fingers and stuff. Like I don't know what happened, but
yeah, I feel like he just hit the nerve in his neck or something.
It reminded me a lot of like when people get KO'd with like a body shot.
But I saw that like his hands went up top, so that's why I was like, what happened? Because it looked like his body shut down.
Yeah, and I think to Jimmy's point, I think he hit like one of the nerves, like. Or like he pinched one of the nerves in the neck, and because of also just the force of being punched and it being a little bit behind the ear, broke his equilibrium, fucked up a nerve, and then just
hit a crazy
down.
Pressure point. Just
yeah, essentially.
But yeah, that's just.
And that's what a comeback. That fight got fight of the night as it should, because
that
it
definitely
was
deserved
beautiful. It was so good.
And like
that was an insane fight.
And just like again, 155, another guy where it's like I know Guram, like he just he lost to fucking Demir before that.
He lost to Demir before that, like a year ago.
Yeah, so it's like he just lost to a dude like in the top 15. This was a beautiful win and a finish for Elvis Brenner. Like absolutely. Only 2-0 in the UFC, but fuck it, just such a great win over a great name. Get him someone like in the top 15 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, or at least like around it.
Or I was gonna say the bigger name sitting around it.
Yeah,
but it's just we just gotta get this shit flowing.
Yeah,
just fuck the people on these people that are performing good on our hot run. But yeah,
hell, him versus like a Drew Dober. Drew Dober's right outside the top 15.
Yeah.
That would be... Oh my goodness.
That'd be a good-ass fight.
That's violence.
Yeah.
That is violence.
I like that. I like that one a lot. That's fucking... yeah. But yeah, those are all of like the real big performances, big fights on the card. As I hinted at earlier, opening bout. My boy Blagoy, he didn't get it done against Romanov, but it was a great win for Romanov. Yeah, and in this post fight, just really made you like feel good that he got the win.
Yeah, I was super happy that he got that.
He looked a lot better than his last two performances, so I'm definitely happy about that.
Oh yeah,
100%. And fuck, I don't. Do you know who got the bonuses? I know Elvis Brenner, Guram got fight of the night. I think Strickland got 50K.
I was gonna say Strickland got performance bonus.
Strickland probably got performance bonus.
You think Santini or maybe Rinat got 50K, something like that? Rinat should have. I feel like Rinat had to have gotten 50K for that.
Hold up.
I don't know. Beautiful though. Solid night from the UFC Apex. But you know what that leaves us with after a good old fight night? Tapology. I didn't hear you looking up the bonus. I don't know if you got
I couldn't find it. No, my bad.
I got you.
But you can go on.
Alright. The motherfucking Tapology. We back. You won it last week, right, Kate?
Yeah.
It was it was a one win streak, right? And J Bob bringing it back, getting the win this week. Let's go.
I shouldn't have gone with the fucking upset.
Yeah, it was a real close week.
Upset.
It was. It's super close. I ended up with 390 points, 6 right, 1 decision, 1 perfect, 1 semi-perfect. Nothing crazy at all. Only 15 ahead of you, though.
I know,
KT
and I had 1
2.
right and 1 more right than you.
I know. But, yeah, the 1 more right with the decision. No perfect or semi. But, yeah. Motherfucking Ginger. Coming in last again. As long as we beat him, that's all that matters.
5 right, 2 decisions, 1 semi-perfect. Like I said, I shouldn't have gone with the upset with Magomedov beating Strickland.
Yep.
But I mean, to be fair, like we damn near for most of it had the same people.
Yeah,
like
I wanted the upset with Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
I got the upset with Elvis.
Yeah, you did. That was fucking...
And yeah,
I thought it was going to be by sub if he was going to get it, but goddamn gets the TKO.
We all had Bomb Fiend. We all had Gatto, if I remember right.
Yup. I think we all had Ivanov.
You had... Me and Katie had Bruno. You didn't.
Yeah.
That's how you got the 2 over me.
Yup. And then I got the perfect with Joe Anderson Brito first round KO.
Yeah. That's how you only had 1 more right than me. Katie had 2 more right than me, and that was because of I had Guram. And I think it was, what?
Yes, sir.
At that point.
Let's go.
And Strickland. That's what it was. That's how you got. How do you have 6 and I have 5? Hold up.
I'm better. Let's go. But this brings us to the greatest part of the podcast, as always. Who's that fighter? I'll be honest, ain't the greatest this week. There's very hard pictures to find, and I'm just trying to do it fast, and you know what I mean? It's just not the greatest. So, I'll let you guys pick the order. Do I go from the worst pictures to the better pictures, or the better picture to the worst picture?
Best to worst, because it's funny that way. I want to see like it be good and get progressively worse, okay?
You go with that, Ginger?
I'm down for whatever.
All right.
I'm sure this is gonna go well.
Oh, the last. All right, but let's go. Let's go with the first one. This one's a good one. But let's go. Who's that fighter? Number 1. This is the best photo.
It's a pretty good photo.
It's pretty good. I like it.
It's pretty good.
Throwing a flying knee.
Yeah, I low-key want to say, like, you got it from fucking Mike Morales throwing his flying knee tonight.
That's a thought.
Oh, no.
What you tanking?
Yeah, fuck it, I'll just do that.
You going Mike Morales?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, this is best to worst. This is the way to go.
Yeah, okay. This is the best one. Hey, Kate said it was a good picture. She enjoyed it.
The leg is so weird.
It is. And you can't get any information off the body or barely the head.
Yeah, you can't get any information.
But it is fun.
The nose. The top of the head.
Grant Dawson.
You're going Grant Dawson?
Yeah.
Kate went Michael Morales. The correct answer is Grant Dawson.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
I forget what fight that I pulled that from, but
I don't know. This man throws flying knees.
He did this picture.
Since when?
It's really funny because, like, when I picked it afterwards, I thought that you guys might possibly think it was Bonfim with, like, throwing the flying knee against T-Rex, because that was just like a. But then, yeah, I forgot that Morales was throwing flying knees tonight, so that's why keep picking that one.
I had 3 names in my head, and it was either Grant, Demir, or Bonfim. I'm like, okay, it's one with shorter hair, and they're not a bigger guy.
Yeah, he didn't look big enough, but also, like, people never look big enough in their pictures half the time because, you know, so I was just like, fuck it. Anyway.
Well, no, I'm talking about, like, they didn't look bigger than 155, because I knew it wasn't, like, it didn't look like a Bruno, it didn't look like...
Yeah.
Someone in that weight class, you know, so...
Number 2, though. The drop-off is real. Who's that fighter? It ain't the greatest, but it's honest work.
Is it?
It is. This is right after an 8-hour fight companion, you know, trying to just scramble it together real quick for the podcast. You got arms and a body and a frame and a head, you know? Some distinctish features. Putting the hand back, you know?
I don't know. Benoit?
Benoit?
Yeah.
Ginger!
Alright. I'm gonna go with Max Payne Griffin.
Max Payne Griffin?
Like, I feel like it's one of those two.
What?
In that fight, it was one of those two.
I gotcha.
I'm just going Griffin.
You're going Griffin. Kate went Benoit Saint-Denis. The correct answer is...
I could see that, actually, yeah.
Michael Morales.
Okay, so I was right. It was someone in that fight.
I know, when you said Michael Morales in the first one, I was just like, oh. I was like, that's the second one. Alright.
Oh, if this is the worst, then this is going to be fun. Okay, wait, time out. Want to make sure. Did you pick all main card fighters?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. All right. Number 3. Who's that fighter? This one ain't great. I'll just give you that. It's terrible, perhaps. This one? Quite possibly the least honest work of them all. This one's just trying to get it done.
I don't know. Let's go a bus.
A bus? JJ!
I feel like I know who that is. I feel like it's Benoit Saint Denis.
Benoit
this one
Saint
I actually
Denis?
feel. Yeah, this one I actually feel more confident in.
You're going Benoit?
Yes.
Kate's
Benoit.
going a bus? The correct answer is Benoit Saint Denis. I know you said Benoit for the last. I'm just like, oh, Kate like has 2 of the fighters just on the wrong pictures. It's like, oh, so close. But yeah, after I did that, just because the head position, no real distinction with that. But yeah, like I said, just trying to get them done fast. So and it was just hard to pick fighters for this too, with like pictures in general.
No, yeah, that last one I could easily see a bus. Like, I literally looked at him like he wants me to think it's a bus. I'm going Benoit because he also has a beard that's pretty decently sized.
Yeah, and it's like just going through, like just looking at pictures and just so many of them just the same and shit. You know, it'd be
so
like
many
that.
fighters do just the same poses and stuff at like weigh-ins or whatever after a fight. You know, and it's hard trying to find pictures.
But that's gonna wrap up another episode of this podcast. Let's go. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, you know what to do. Press the like button, press the subscribe button if you haven't already. And we got all the links down in the description. Excited for the next episode. Previewing UFC 290. Let's fucking go.
That is gonna be fun.
But until then, enjoy everyone. Good night.